Today we are going to make some delicious grilled cheese animations. Step by step we will be building the bread, the cheese and the butter and go through everything that goes into making a grilled cheese animation. The animation will consist of several different scenes and you will see an awesome product animation in the end. But why would I make a grilled cheese animation? I have this dream of making cool looking product animations and it's been almost a year since I started this journey. 1 year ago I started learning Blender. You should be able to do all kinds of animations with this software, but the progress has been so slow. I have only made one product animation in a year. So I think it's time to make another one. When I search YouTube for product animations, I usually just see tons of these energy drink or soda can animations. Why is it always the soda can? I'd want to make something different, but it should also be something pretty simple, since I'm not experienced on product animation or modeling. So that's how I came up with the idea of making a grilled cheese animation, since it's only a bread, cheese and butter. How hard can it be to make? Oh boy, was I wrong. It's actually going to be pretty damn hard. Before the animation, I looked through some cooking videos on how to make a grilled cheese. Some like to use sourdough bread, some use wheat bread, some use American cheese, some use Swiss cheese. The basics are still pretty much the same. I have a pretty good idea where I should start my animation. I should probably start modeling the bread first. So let's get started. I took this picture out of Bixby. Using GIMP I masked out the image so I would only have one slice of bread. Now I just need to import the image to Blender and start modeling. It didn't take long to find out my shortcomings. I'm pretty bad at modeling and texturing. Actually, I only barely know how to use textures. Let me tell you, your UV unwrap should not look like this. This is pretty new to me since I have never done my own textures, but I still somehow managed to make an okay looking bread. I'm not really sure if I'm doing things correctly, but if it looks good to me, it's fine. Then I start to work on my butter animation, and this is also where I start to question myself. How the heck do you actually animate spreading of butter? When you don't know the answer, all you can do is try different things. So I started to play around with geometry nodes. This is the main thing that I have been learning in Blender. I made my own particle system that would hopefully look something like spreading butter on a bread. And when you start to modify the particles to volume, it sort of starts to look something like a butter, maybe. I decide the butter is good enough. It would take forever to improve it any further, and I'm not even doing the materials yet.
A few hours later.
Before long, I had made over 7 different versions of the butter. The butter started consuming my life. I still question what kind of butter is the best butter. So many different variations, but I can't decide. But I have to pick something so I can start designing the first scene. I took some kitchen assets from Blender Kit to build a simple kitchen scene. Luckily, I could use some assets that people have made, or I would never be able to finish this project. Then it was time to animate the first scene. Just put everything I have done so far to place, and the first scene is done. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. Just the first scene took a week to make. Maybe I need to get some inspiration. Oh my god, this doesn't look at all like the animation. Oh no, I guess the butter is a bit more solid than liquid. Oh well. In the future, I should probably do a bit more research before starting the animation. I don't know why I do things in this order. I always do things and then think about the things. This is the way. Oh my god. I'm no chef, that's for sure. Another try. After eating the grilled cheese, I'm finally ready to move on to the next scene. I again took a couple of models from Blender Kit and modified the shaders a bit. I added the red glow to the pan to make it seem hot. With that, the second scene was done. I realized there's still one model that I need for this project. Of course, I'm missing the cheese. Sadly, Blender Kit has no good cheese models, so I had to make my own cheese generator. I once again leaned on the one tool that I have learned in Blender, geometry nodes. So I made this cheese generator. I find it a bit amusing that my modeling skills are so bad. I even prefer doing cheese in geometry nodes rather than actually modeling it. With this I made a couple of different cheese slices and added wave modifier to make it seem more flexible. I realize many people might use grated cheese for the grilled cheese, but I think my skills are not up for that task, so sliced cheese it is. After that I used rigid body physics to make simple animation for dropping things into the pan. I still can't quite figure out how these rigid bodies work, so I usually end up making a cube that handles the collisions and parent the other parts to that. With that the next scene was done. So next animation is about the bread and cheese hitting the pan. For this I had to play around with smoke physics. The classic trick is to use particle system to emit smoke, but it still takes quite a lot of effort to find right type of settings to get the perfect results. I did couple of different smoke layers for this scene. I rendered the rigid body animation separately and the smoke animation as their own layers. On to the next scene. This scene is about cooking the bread. For this I tried sculpting to make the melting cheese animation. With shape keys you can animate the cheese melting, but you will barely see it in the final shots. Then I also wanted to add sizzling oil to the pan, which was pretty tough to do. I tried tons of different experiments on geometry nodes to make the animation and finally managed to do a decent looking oil animation that sizzles in the pan. Then I also needed to add some more smoke effects to give that cooking feeling. And I was ready for the final scene. The last scene is just about presenting the bread in a delicious scene. So I decided to make an animation where the grilled cheese is on a plate while you see bread dropping from the sky. You put everything together and you have this delicious animation. Well, that took a while to make, but I still hope you enjoyed the video. That's it for now. Bye!